Welcome back to another FlixFrog Top 10 list. I really enjoy doing these, and of course this list is the top 10 Best Picture nominees of 2025. It is currently 1 a.m. I just finished watching The Brutalist about 30 minutes ago, typed up my notes, and it is time to get started. It was a rough patch for me this year to get all of these movies watched before the Oscars, which airs tonight, but I'm going into it. I'm excited, and hopefully you guys are still excited because you're still here listening to me talk about it. So before I get to my list, I'd like to start all of my Oscars Best Pictures with a little bit of trivia, and we're going to start this one with the double duty. Now, there's only one actor who pulled double duty this year, and that is appearing in two Best Picture nominees, and that is Timothée Chalamet. He appeared in ACompleteUnknown and Dune PartTwo. So yep, he is the sole actor to accomplish that this year. So congratulations to you, Timothée Chalamet. Now moving on to the next bit of trivia, we have connecting Best Picture nominees to Marvel movies. Now this can be MCU, Sony Universe, pre-MCU, any Marvel movie or TV show or cartoon that has ever been made. So, starting with Wicked, you got Michelle Yeoh, who appeared as Ying Nan in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. You got Jeff Goldblum, who appeared as the Grand Master in Thor Ragnarok. You got Peter Dinklage, who appeared as Eitri in Avengers Infinity War. Next, we got Conclave with Stanley Tucci, who appeared as Professor Erskine in Captain America: The First Avenger. Next, and I think this one has the most, Dune Part 2. You got Josh Brolin, who appeared as Thanos in the Avengers movies. Florence Pugh, who appeared as Yelena Belova in the Black Widow movie and Hawkeye. And she's going to be in Thunderbolts coming up. You got Anya Taylor-Joy, who appeared as Magic in The New Mutants. You got Stellan Skarsgård, who appeared as Dr. Selvig in the Thor movies, and Dave Bautista, who appeared as Drax the Destroyer in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Next, A Complete Unknown, directed by James Mangold, who directed both The Wolverine and Logan. You got Edward Norton, who was the original MCU Bruce Banner / Hulk. You got Boyd Holbrook, who is in all of James Mangold's movies. He appeared as Donald Pierce in Logan. Moving on to EmiliaPérez, we got Zoe Saldana, who of course was Gamora in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. On to NickelBoys, we got Daveed Diggs, who is the voice of the Rat King in The Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And then lastly, we have The Brutalist, which you have Guy Pearce, who was Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3, and Felicity Jones, who played Felicia Hardy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So that is all of the Best Picture nominees that I could connect to a Marvel movie, TV show, or whatever. So moving on to my list of top 10 Best Picture nominees, I have now watched them all, and unlike my other lists, this one is actually in a specific order. It goes from my least favorite Best Picture nominee to my favorite Best Picture nominee. Now, number one isn't necessarily who I think is going to win Best Picture, it is who I would like to win Best Picture. Number 10, I'm Still Here. So it was a real struggle for me to find this movie and watch it. Originally, the studio actually sent me a screener to review, but unfortunately that was when I got the flu, so I was just totally out of it, and it expired before I was able to watch it. I was finally able to watch it actually earlier today, and it's okay, but it just wasn't for me. It did seem a little boring. Of course, it was all in Portuguese, I believe, and I think the story was fine. I just think I would have liked for it to have been a little bit more on the investigative journalism side. It was really sad, based on a true story, but overall, not for me. Number 9, The Brutalist. This movie was way too long for something. Like, he was building a building, and that's what it's about. And of course, you know, he's a Holocaust survivor, and it deals with his drug addiction. And Adrian Brody's a great actor, but this movie just was fine. It didn't need to be that long. The epilogue especially didn't need to be there. The score, I think, was enjoyable to listen to, but overall the movie was just kind of meh. I don't like, not every movie, just because it has a lot of actors in it and is really long, should be a Best Picture nominee. Those are just my thoughts. Number 8, NickelBoys. Heard a lot about this. I actually watched this a while ago, and I think it is a very important story, and I'm glad it was told. It's just me personally. I am kind of over just the horrors that black people have faced in this country and seeing them in movie forms. I've seen so many of these movies from when I was a child up till adulthood, and I think I'm just kind of over it. I just kind of want to see black people being more uplifted in films, stories of success and not heartache. So I think that's where we should be moving. But I guess for this younger generation, this is important that they see that this stuff happened in the past. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the way it was shot in like the first person, and it just, like I said, I'm kind of over those kind of stories. I'm glad the story was told, but another one that just wasn't for me. Number 7, EmiliaPérez. This one, you heard so much about this movie going into award season and during award season. I have to say, it is the story, and in terms of like a cartel leader wanting to become a trans woman, the story overall, I think is actually pretty interesting. It is pretty great. I think it needed a better director, and they should have cut the music out because the songs are awful. I hate it. Having to sit through those songs actually made me laugh, and that kind of made it funnier. It's really shocking that this is a Best Picture nomination. Like I said, I like the story, but wow, it is just like one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. But Zoe Saldana, I mean, she's getting a Best Supporting Actress nomination. I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. We'll see if she wins. But yeah, better director, cut out the music. This is a better movie, hands down. Number 6, A Complete Unknown. You know, I didn't really know that much about Bob Dylan before I watched this movie. Kind of like I knew of him, but I didn't really know his music specifically. Like I've heard some of his songs, but I did not know, oh, that's a Bob Dylan song. Like he has a song that plays at the beginning of Watchmen that's really good. And you know, it's just, I think that Timothée Chalamet is a great young actor. This is the guy who's he may win an Oscar this year, we'll see, but you know, he is going to be that guy. He's like putting himself out there to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio. Hopefully he wins an Oscar sooner than it took Leo to get one. But yeah, he's taking all these different roles. He's being very artsy. He's kind of staying away from the big blockbuster type movies, but not going completely indie. So yeah, it was a fine story. Edward Norton in this, wow. Like in the beginning I was like, hold on, is that Edward Norton? Like that guy's an underrated actor for sure. He was great in this movie as well. Number 5, TheSubstance. I remember when I first saw this trailer, and I was like, what kind of weird movies? Like when I saw that trailer, I didn't think this movie was going to be anywhere near the Oscars. But you know, it picked up some steam pre-award season. People started watching it. People were praising Demi Moore's performance. And at this point in her career, with the type of movie that this is, now let's be honest, the Academy rewards nudity in women. They just kind of love it, especially when you're older. They respect it for some weird reason. I think there's a lot of foreign people in it, and that is why she's being very vulnerable, very open. The story is interesting. It's short. They can watch it. It's a quick in and out type of movie. Body horror. It's a little gross. The ending kind of falls apart, but Demi Moore has been in this business for a long time. So when she does a movie like this and it gets this far, they're going to give her the Academy Award. That's just plain and simple. That's what it is. So I'm happy for her. Congratulations, Demi. If she doesn't win by some weird miracle, that would be strange, but I'm pretty sure she's going to take it home. The movie itself, I enjoyed most of it. Like I said, the ending fell apart. The body horror was really gross at the end. But yeah, number 4, Dune Part 2. Really well made film by Denis Villeneuve. It's a shame that it didn't win more awards. I like the story. I like where the story is going. I can't wait to see what he does with Dune Messiah coming up next, which they moved up to film. I think originally it was set to come out in like 2027, 2028, but they moved up. I think it's shooting this summer. They want it out next year, and Denny is back, so I'm happy to see where the story goes. I haven't read the books yet. I plan on making sure I read both books before this third movie. But yeah, I like the action. Austin Butler as Fade Rautha, way better than the Sting version. Really loved it. Really loved the fight with him and Paul Atreides at the end of the movie. I think for those who are looking for some good sci-fi, 1 and 2 back to back, or at least in really close contention, watching those movies together, it would be a great watch, and I can't wait to see the third one, like I said. Number 3, Anora. You know, I'm glad to watch a movie with Mikey Madison where she is not set on fire and murdered. I mean, you got Scream and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Both of those movies she's taken out very viciously. But this one I enjoyed more than I thought I did. I think she's the runner-up for the Oscar. Like, if for some reason Demi Moore was not going to win, it would go to Mikey Madison. If this were any other year, Mikey Madison would be winning. And the movie is basically like a real-life version of Pretty Woman, or a modern version of Pretty Woman. It's what kind of should have happened in that movie. There's not necessarily a happy ending. It's a lot more graphic. Of course, there's a lot more nudity because of what her job is. But the performances are really good. Yuri Borisov, I think, the guy who plays like the bodyguard, I can't quite remember the actor's name. He's great in the movie. The kid is actually pretty funny. Mikey Madison's actually pretty funny in the movie. I don't know if it's like something I will watch again per se, but it was an enjoyable watch in terms of watching all of these Best Picture nominees. Number 2, Conclave. This is your best adapted screenplay right here. This was a well-written, well-paced, well-edited movie. Really enjoyed it. Ralph Fiennes, great job. Stanley Tucci, great job. John Lithgow, like so many people. Like when I first started this movie, I thought it was gonna be like a murder mystery, like who killed the Pope type of thing, but no, that's not what it is at all. And when the story unfolds, it's basically like a political drama. Like they're like basically like, all right, we have to choose a new Pope. All right, who are we gonna pick? Oh, this is taking a lot longer than we thought. Oh, we're gonna pick this guy. Oh, we can't pick this guy anymore because this scandal came out. Well, we're gonna pick this guy. We can't pick this guy anymore because something else about him is a little off. He's stealing money. This person's doing that. It was really enjoyable to watch. I really did enjoy it. Like, this is a movie I think I could watch again just because I like those political, thriller, legal drama type movies, and that's exactly what this falls into. Well acted, well performed, well edited. Really did enjoy this movie. Number 1, Wicked. And it surprises me too, folks. I really did enjoy this movie. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the acting. I personally think that Ariana Grande should win the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role in this movie, even over Zoe Saldana. I just think this is kind of the best performance that Ariana Grande has ever had. And if she doesn't win for this, she should probably win for Wicked for Good. Cynthia Erivo, she's like in her 40s. In this movie, she's playing like somebody who is at the oldest, probably like 23. Black don't crack, baby. She looks great. People saying she's too old for this role. The fact that she's like 4'2", she's fine. She's wearing green makeup. She sings great. She looks great. And that's the thing. They try to make her like ugly in this movie, I guess, with the green makeup. And it's like, if you've ever seen Star Trek, like, green women are hot. But yeah, it was a really enjoyable movie. My only gripe was really that I feel like it was too long. The movie was really long, and you do kind of wish some scenes were condensed. I said in my review, I kind of wish that this was split into actually 3 films, but it was a really enjoyable movie. And for those who like The Wizard of Oz, like all that lore, I think this is definitely something you should check out. So that does it. That is my list. Top 10 Best Picture nominees. I got it done. Ooh, can I get a round of applause? Remember, you can find the full reviews of the Best Picture nominees that I've watched on the website, flipfrogllc.com/flicksfrog. Or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next year, I'll be seeing you.